In Pokemon Champions, there's a wide variety of Mega Pokemon you could be using to great success, including some lesser picked Pokemon like Mega Golurk or even Mega Crabominable, but for the most part people will be sticking with Mega Zard Y, Mega Floette, and Mega Gengar to ensure success. But out of the lower usage Mega Pokemon, which one should you probably avoid? At what point do we go from anti-meta threat to just anti-threat? Like they're not threats at all. We're going to talk about those Pokemon today. Let me know what I should talk about next. These weekday videos, these non-Monday videos are going to be more discussion focused. So, just let me know what you want me to talk about. Let's just get right into it. If you guys enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, check out the Patreon, become a YouTube channel member, hype the video, all of that. And hey, you definitely want to subscribe because at 300,000 subscribers, I'll be ranking every bench in Lumio City. Let's just begin. All right, we got to start off with number 5 on my list. I don't know if these are in any particular order. I think a lot of these Pokemon are just Pokemon that I think you will struggle to run. Will you not be able to run them at all? That isn't what I'm saying. I think that you will be able to run these Pokemon if you try hard enough, but you're working way too hard if you're trying to see results. But if the point is to use these Pokemon, you could get away with it. I'm going to go with number 5, Mega Meowstick. Mega Meowstick is a Pokemon who I think really got the short end of the stick as far as abilities go. Its stat spread of 74 HP, 76 defense, 143 special attack, 101 special defense, and 124 speed isn't bad. It has a really good speed tier, and it hits fairly hard and has access to Expanding Force. However, as things stand, it really is just a weaker version of Mega Alakazam, as Mega Alakazam also has the same ability as Mega Meowstick in Trace. Trace copies one of your opponent's abilities and gives it to the user, and this could be cool as it will give you access to Intimidate or Clear Body or something really useful time to time, but for the most part, you're not going to be really copying anything super useful. What really makes Mega Meowstick feel really weak in this game is the lack of Indeedee or any Psychic Terrain setter to allow for Mega Meowstick to have full power Expanding Forces. However, you could try to go with a strat like using Espathra to set up Expanding Force and deal damage that way. But once again, you're trying way too hard to make this Mega Pokemon work, and now you need 2 Pokemon on your team to allow the Mega Pokemon to do its job at all. Beyond that, it's just fairly unnotable. Like, it has good stats, don't get me wrong, and it has decent coverage, and in its base form, it does have the ability Competitive or Prankster, allowing for you to maybe get a boost before you attack from an opponent's Incineroar, or set up some kind of light screen to help it out, or a Nasty Plot or something with priority, but for the most part, Mega Meowstick is just falling short of being viable in my opinion. Coming in at number 4, I have to give it to Mega Hawlucha, and this one hurts me. Mega Hawlucha is one of my favorite Pokemon designs ever. I absolutely love the Lucha Libre design, and I love everything about it. I think he looks really cool. However, the stats are really lacking, and it's amazing just how a small redistribution of stats could help this guy out. He's got 78 HP, 137 attack, 100 defense, 74 special attack, 93 special defense, and 118 speed. That isn't bad, but the issue is 118 speed in a metagame with a decent amount of 120 speed Pokemon, most notably Sneasler and Mega Frostlass, makes it really difficult for Mega Hawlucha to really get anything done. Also, Mega Hawlucha doesn't have access to Tailwind. It does have this cool tech in Quick Guard, but when Sneasler is like the #1 fake out user in the metagame right now, and Quick Guard is the same priority as fake out, you can't actually use Quick Guard to block fake out because Sneasler most of the time is going to be faster than you, unless they're adamant. The only real niches that Mega Hawlucha has at the moment are 2. You have 1, the option to entrainment your ability No Guard onto a partner Pokemon, allowing for them to go for an Oko move or some unreliable attack like Hypnosis into the opponent and never miss. This ability is mostly useless on Mega Hawlucha itself, as it doesn't have a lot of moves that take advantage of it. The 3 moves that come to mind are Cross Chop, Stone Edge, and Dual Wing Beat, which aren't the strongest moves on Mega Hawlucha. I think Cross Chop is probably the best fighting move on it, just so you have that chance to crit against Pokemon like Iron Defense Corviknight or Incineroar after you get intimidated to try to get that one shot. And it is really good damage without having to decrease your bulk, like Close Combat would do. But I think that just passing the ability on to other things is mostly the best use case for that ability itself. That being said, I don't even think that's strong. I think the best way to use Mega Hawlucha is in its other niche, which is as a coaching Pokemon. 118 speed is faster than a lot of really great physical attackers like Garchomp or King Gambit, meaning that you're going to be able to coaching the partner Pokemon before the opponent moves, and Coaching a Garchomp is especially really strong because Garchomp wants to click Earthquake in a lot of situations, meaning that it will be able to Earthquake Hawlucha next to it, while Hawlucha is immune to the Earthquake. Not a lot of Pokemon are able to do that. Sneasler is one of the most common coaching users in the metagame right now, and if you try to Earthquake next to your Sneasler, then it's bye-bye Sneasler. But besides that, I think Hawlucha basically has to be a secondary Mega. I don't think it is the best pick as a primary Mega. There aren't a lot of matchups it really wants to come to. I think Hawlucha's best matchup is into Sand, and a lot of teams have bad matchups into Sand, so maybe just slap Hawlucha on as a secondary Mega for that. But beyond that niche, I really don't know what you want to do with this guy. Moving on to our number 3 biggest fraud in the game, I have Mega Beedrill, and I know a lot of people are going to be really upset with Mega Beedrill on this list. It is Potential Mon. However, the thumbnail art goes so hard. Like, you can't tell me that the thumbnail idea wasn't really good for this video. That being said, Mega Beedrill is not strong. Mega Beedrill is like one of the fastest, if not the fastest Pokemon in the game at 145 speed. This leaves it faster than base Aerodactyl and faster than Dragapult, but it doesn't really know what to do with that speed tier. Don't get me wrong, adaptability with 150 attack is really, really strong. However, there's a lot of Intimidate going around, so in most situations, it really isn't Mega Beedrill can one-shot this Pokemon. It's what if Mega Beedrill were able to one-shot this Pokemon, because it's not going to be at max attack most of the time. Beyond that, I think that Mega Beedrill would have a niche in this metagame if it weren't for one really big nerf to it, and that's that Mega Beedrill lost Tailwind. Mega Beedrill would be, without a doubt, the fastest Tailwind user in this game that didn't have priority, like Whimsicott or Talonflame. It would be above Mega Aerodactyl, but probably lose to Mega Aerodactyl, which is a really big downside. But another thing that really leaves Mega Beedrill lacking in this metagame is just how physical this metagame is and how much Rock Slide is going around. That 65 HP and 40 defense is not going to take it very far when a singular Rock Slide will knock it out. On top of that, if you're not facing Rock Slide, you're probably facing Mega Charizard Y, so Heat Wave will just KO you anyways. And I think the biggest niche that Mega Beedrill used to have was being a Fairy type KOer or a Tapu Hunter, that sort of thing in other metagames it used to be in. We have like 2 relevant fairy types in this metagame, and they're Mega Gardevoir and Mega Floette, or if you're not running either one of those, sometimes Sylveon. Does it beat Sylveon? Yes, Sylveon is slower than it, and even with the Tailwind, it's probably not going to be faster. However, if you're only beating 2 Pokemon in the metagame that matter, Gardevoir and Mega Floette, there are other Pokemon that deal with this Pokemon, and their names are like Sneasler, Aegislash, any like Steel type, and they're far more reliable. But because there aren't fairy types on every single team like there were in previous metagames, because there's only like 3 fairy types that matter total in this metagame, and sometimes you just forego the fairy type altogether in your team building, Mega Beedrill is really left with no purpose in a lot of situations, and it wasn't even the best tool in those situations before. It really is like that niche kitchen gadget that another thing in the kitchen could do a lot better, but you decided to buy the avocado slicer anyways, so yeah. I don't even know what to say about this guy. Mega Glalie. Yeah, this is a Mega Pokemon that exists. Mega Glalie has 80 HP, 120 attack, 80 defense, 120 special attack, 80 special defense, and 100 speed. These are not terrible stats for a regular Pokemon. I mean, Mega Glalie does have the ability Refrigerate, which does allow for it to hit really hard with its normal type attacks, but I don't think that Refrigerate is really going to carry it as far as you think it is. Ice is good. Ice type attackers are good in this game. You're able to beat Garchomp. However, Mega Glalie is not outspeeding Garchomp, and if you want to outspeed Garchomp and hit it with a spread, powerful ice type move, Mega Frostlass is right there. Like, I don't know how to explain it to Mega Glalie in any other terms other than it's not doing the job better than Mega Frostlass. Mega Frostlass will not only be able to use these spread ice type moves like Blizzard, but it will also be able to do it without getting flinched by Fake Out and also setting up Snow. It even has better coverage in the fact that it has access to Stab Shadow Ball. Honestly, like, the only purpose for Mega Glalie on a team is to explode. Like, its move Explosion is one of the strongest explosions in the game, 120 attack, and then the Refrigerate boost on top of it is like really good. But even then, I don't know why you would waste your Mega just to blow it up. Then again, there are people running Mega Victory Bell in the meta right now, but I would argue Mega Victory Bell is better than like a lot of the megas on this list. I could put Mega Victory Bell on this list, but it feels wrong to even compare it to Mega Glalie when at least Victory Bell has some sauce on Sun teams. You know, it can do something. I've used it. It's like the worst mega ever, but it's not unusable. You know, there are some megas that on paper feel a lot stronger like Mega Glalie, but are practically unusable. It just doesn't do much, and you want to run just the better ice type anyways in its other form, Frostlass. I don't know what to say. It's a rock slide metagame with sun alternatives. Mega Glalie is not going to take you very far when it's slower than every rock slider other than Tyranitar, and does not even participate in the weather war. He doesn't even show up to work. I feel bad that we all knew who was going to be number one on this list, but number one is Mega Audino. Mega Audino has 103 HP, 60 attack, 126 defense, 80 special attack, 126 special defense, and 50 speed. Now, this really does feel like it's the era of support Mega Pokemon finally being good. We have seen Mega Scovillain do its thing. We have even seen Mega Chimecho once in a while make a little bit of like a dent in certain teams. But with that being said, I don't think that Mega Audino is a very good support Mega, because a lot of Mega Pokemon rely on their abilities to be strong options. Like Mega Scovillain, Spicy Spray is a really great ability that will burn anything that touches it, or doesn't touch it because it affects special attackers too. But Mega Audino's ability is Healer. Sorry, I'm not looking at the camera right now because I really do need to read this. I didn't write anything out for Mega Audino because this is almost like a live reaction. I have not looked at Mega Audino since 2018, I think. 103 HP, 126 in both defenses, normal fairy type, not the worst. Like I said, we're really lacking in fairy types right now, but it can't play offensive. Like the good support megas, like have good special attack stats. Mega Scovillain invests a lot in its defenses, but it doesn't need to invest a ton into its special attack stat because you get so much value from it literally doing nothing all game. But even if it does have to swing, it has 138 in both those offenses. Mega Audino also doesn't have any redirection like Follow Me or Rage Powder or anything. And while it is a fairy type that this metagame is lacking, I don't think that you're going to get a lot of value out of Mega Audino because it's only 80 base special attack. It doesn't get Moonblast, so there's no strong single target attack. It's going to have to always have its fairy type moves cut because you're running Dazzling Gleam. And its ability, I keep not coming back to the ability, but its ability is Healer. Healer, I believe, got buffed. Let me check. Okay, I went to Bulbapedia. From generations 5 to 8, at the end of each turn, Healer has a 30% chance of curing an adjacent ally status condition. If the Pokemon has multiple adjacent allies with status conditions, it has an independent 30% chance of curing each one, and can cure more than one in the same turn. If it cures a status condition, it does so before burn or poison damage is dealt on that. And then, in Pokemon Champions, Healer now triggers 50% of the time. You couldn't have given it like an upgraded version of Healer that always heals? That would be not the worst ability. It wouldn't be the best ability, but it wouldn't be the worst either. Imagine if Mega Audino just, yes, your Pokemon will go to sleep this turn, but it's gonna wake up immediately. Yes, your Pokemon gets burned this turn, but it's gonna wake up immediately. Yes, your Pokemon gets paralyzed this turn, but it'll just get healed immediately on the next turn. Like, why is it only a chance? Why am I wasting a Mega slot on my team for a Pokemon that isn't gonna do damage, isn't gonna redirect, and isn't going to heal my Pokemon half the time? It has Helping Hand, and it has Trick Room. Like, those are the two things that it does, but it doesn't do anything else. I'm sorry, I'm just like trying to figure out if it has any kind of recovery. Because maybe you could do Calm Mind setup, but no, it doesn't have Moonlight, it doesn't have Recover, it has Rest. If you want to heal, you run Rest. It has Healing Wish, you could sacrifice it and it could heal like the partner Pokemon. Once again, I'm not looking at my camera because I am doing a live reaction about Mega Audino fun facts. Yeah, Mega Audino is, without a doubt, the worst Mega Pokemon in the game, which makes me very sad because it could be good. With one simple change, it could be good. You want to know what you do? You make it heal 100% of the time. And now it's like a great bodyguard Pokemon, but it's 50-50. And it used to only be less than 1 in 3. So Mega Audino is the worst Mega in the game. Honorable mentions to Mega Victory Bell for being really bad, and Mega Bennett for doing basically nothing no matter how hard you try. But yeah, that's the video for today. I wanted to talk about that because I thought it'd be really fun. Let me know what I should talk about next. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.